Hi. Welcome to this vlog. I'm just doing this like almost like a weekend vlog. I might not be talking very much in this one, but I really want to go through my TBR technically because I have a lot of like books that are older, kind of standalones. There are some in a series. I really want to at least read the first chapter in them and decide if I want to continue reading them, because if I don't, I want to DNF them and get them off my shelves. I want to get them off my shelves so I could put books on there that I really want to read. So I picked up the first one is Haunted Old West by Matthew P. Mayo. I've had this one for so long. I've never even opened it like this. I never have. And so I thought it would be really interesting. I know it has something to do about ghosts. It says Phantom Cowboys, Spirit-Filled Saloons, Mystical Mind Camps, and Spectral Indians. That seems very interesting. And so I started kind of like flipping through the pages, and I think they're like short stories, and I don't know if I'm going to like it. So I'm going to try to read like this first chapter and kind of see if I like his writing style, and if I don't, then I'm not gonna read it. It's only from page 2 to page 8, so I know that's only like 6 pages, but I can decide within a short amount of pages if I like someone's writing style. If I don't, I'm gonna stop. I've never really been a DNFer. I never have been, but last year I had a few books that I would try, like just even the first like 5 pages. I'm like, I do not like this writing style. I'm confused. Like, I know I'm only 5 pages in, but it's really like, it was like a contemporary like romance or something, and I'm like, I am lost. It makes no sense. I can't do this. I don't like it. And so I just DNF the book, and then I never thought about it again, so I'm fine. So that's what I'm going to be doing, is I'm going to be going through all these little books that I have, read the first chapter, decide if I want to keep reading, because then I'll keep reading and I'll try to finish it. But if I don't want to keep reading, I'm just going to go to the next book and I'm going to read a chapter in that book. And that's what I'm hoping to do this weekend, is get a lot of like these smaller books that I've had for years and haven't even opened them, and see if I even want to read them. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go sit down, read this first chapter, and decide if I want to keep reading, because if I do, I'll keep reading, and then I'll try to finish it, because it's pretty short. The pages aren't big. I mean, the text isn't large, but there's a lot of breaks, and so I'm thinking, if anything, I could fly through this one pretty quick. So I'm gonna get to this with my cup of coffee, and I'll be back with an update. Okay, so I did read a few pages. I read more than I thought I was going to. I got into this halfway of the second chapter, and like the first one, literally the story is 6 pages, and then it goes on to the next. I didn't really like that. I'm not really a short story person, so this is just not gonna work. So I'm DNFing it. I don't know if I'm gonna put it up on Pango or if I'm just gonna take it to a free little library. I'm not sure, but like the first one was very interesting. It got graphic very quickly. It had harm of animals, so beware if you want to read this. But the second one, it just hops like 100 years, and it's a completely different story. And I'm like, okay, I'm not one of these type of people, so I'm not reading it. So next, I'm gonna try Wicked White by Michelle A. Valentine. I have no idea what this is about. I don't know when I got this. I don't know how I got it. I've never opened it. I've never read the synopsis. So we're gonna try and read this now and see what happens. Hey, I just want to do a quick update. I started Wicked White, and there's 244 pages, and I'm like 69 pages in. I'm not even 100 pages in, but it's really good. I'm really enjoying it. The premise is that Ace, he's a singer in a band, and he does not like his band because he did not pick his band. He's also singing songs that he's not writing. Nobody's letting him do anything he wants, and he's at a concert, and he gets a call saying that his mom is in the hospital, pretty much dying, and he wants to leave, and his manager is like, no, you can't leave. Like, just, oh, I can't handle her. And he leaves. He leaves. And he decides he's done. He's done. He's not doing anything. And he wants to leave. Well, that's when Iris comes in, and she owns a trailer park because her grandma died, and her grandma owned the trailer park. So now the deed's going to be into her name. And they meet because he moves into a trailer next to hers. And it's just them. It's really cute. He's trying really hard not to be around her. Like, he immediately thought she was beautiful, really liked her, and he's trying to not be around her. And she's very attracted to him. So that's where I'm at. I mean, there's 244 pages. I'm not even 100 pages in, but that's where I'm at. But I know by the synopsis that somebody recognizes him at some point of who he is, and something happens. So I'm like really into it, and I really want to know. And oh my God, the cursing in this, just everything about this is so funny. I freaking love it. So I'm going to continue reading, and I hope I can finish it today. Hello. So today's February 1st. So I did finish yesterday Wicked White. This was really good. This was published in 2015, and I loved this book. It was very good. I gave it 4 stars. Him leaving, being like the concert, because he's the rock star, completely makes sense. Why he runs away, everything, I get it, but like he really screwed himself doing that. Work wise, like he really screwed himself. Him and Iris, like, it's kind of instant love, but yet not. Like, he sees her, they're both attracted to each other immediately, and they're drawn to each other, and you just don't really see them on page really getting to know one another. You do realize they both like Shakespeare, they both sing, all that, but that's like the only comparisons I was really getting. But otherwise, everything else was good. He was like very protective of her. She really, really, really liked him. Like, she was like head over heels. She knew who he was because he's under an alias. She found out who he was. They slept together. That was a good scene. There was like 1 or 2 of those scenes in this, and and like they're descriptive but not bad, not too much. I thought it was a perfect amount. The third act conflict made sense, and then it didn't. It made sense in the beginning, and then it's like a bunch of miscommunication, and she's trying to reach out to him, and he's just not answering because he's hurt. But it's like she did the thing she did in order for him not to get in trouble. Like, she was trying to protect him, but he didn't see it that way. He just saw it as her hurting him. So by the end, I was like, okay, I'm getting quite frustrated because it's like months of them not talking to each other. Months. And then the last 3 pages, they get back together. It's like there was no lead up. There was no work. Like, if that ending was done better, this could have been a 5-star. It could have been. But with the third act conflict, I didn't necessarily like about half of it. But I did finish this. I gave it 4 stars. So this is one off my shelf. I'm really excited because it's really short. So when I fixed my reading journal, it was an even 13. Like, I started it, finished it yesterday. So now February, I'm starting completely fresh. So this is another one that's been on my shelf for a while. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. This is what this weekend's about, is pretty much starting books that I don't know if I'm gonna necessarily read. And so this is one I've had for a long time. It's called Zoe Letting Go by Nora Price. I have not even looked at the synopsis. I have no idea what this book is about, but I really want to try it and see if I like it. But we'll see. I haven't read anything. I just put a bookmark in there, so when I do pick it up, there's already a bookmark in it. But also, I really want to start The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. So I did read this. I thought it was 6th grade. No, 8th grade is when we read this in school. And I'm going to surprise everybody by saying I want to annotate it. I have never once annotated a book in my life. I have been reading since high school. I have never had the urge to annotate, but this book, this movie, this is one of my favorites. And I want to annotate it, but I want to take my time. So I might take all of February to read it. I might read like a chapter a day. Like, that's what I'm thinking, is I'm going to do like a chapter a day. Let's see, how many chapters are there? Well, there's 180 pages. Let's see. 12. So, I mean, I can finish this in half the month, but I think I want to sit, do one chapter a day, and annotate. But I've never annotated before, so I don't know how that's going to work, because I also don't have the proper, like, tabs. So I might just highlight it, and if I want to reread it, I can get tabs, I can just re-tab it, but that's what I'm planning on doing. I did also forget to say with Wicked White, I didn't know that this is the first book of a trilogy. So I want to read them, but I might leave them like how I read this one in one day. I was able to read it. I think the other ones are even shorter than 200 pages. So I think what I'll do is, like, always on like the last day of the month, I might try to pick up like a book that I can pick up and read that day, or for sure like read in 2 days, so I read it the two last days, so then I don't have like a picture on another month. I think that's what I'm going to do, but I think I'm going to save the second and third one and like maybe some Ice Planet Barbarians for the end of the month, just so, because I can read them in a day, so then my monthly reading journal is satisfying. But yeah, so I'm going to go start reading Zoe Letting Go after I get my son dressed. And my husband right now is fixing our pool pump because it broke. So he's installing a new pool pump. So I'm kind of just inside with the kids right now. My daughter just left with my mom to a baby shower. So yeah. So I'm just gonna try to go read, get my son ready for the day, and maybe me and him and my husband will go for a walk to the grocery store, and we need milk and we just need a few groceries, so we might just go for a walk because it's not far. We only need like 2 or 3 things, so we'll see where the day leads us. Okay, so I have been trying to read Zoe Letting Go. I'm not into it. It's supposed to be about a girl that she goes to a hospital. It's like a mansion, and it's for like troubled girls. Yeah, this is not, no. So I'm not going to read that one. That one's a DNF. I'm going to now try to read Haunt Me Still by Jennifer Lee Carell. I do not know, because the sticker's on there, and I know if I try to take it, if I try to take it off, it's probably going to leave a residue anyway, so I'm going to try it. I don't know what it is about, but let's try this one now. Okay, I'm doing a really weird update because my son has my phone. So I'm on my tablet recording this. This is the first time. It's so wide angled. It's so odd to me. But anyways, I wanted to do this update because I was trying to read this again. Not my cup of tea. So I'm going to be DNFing this also. Put it up on Pango. But I'm going to read Dark House by Karina Hale. I know it's a series, but I really want to get the series. So I might like buy a few every now and then to get them. But I read this a very long time ago. Like while I was in high school, I remember Douche Canoe came from this book. And I started calling people Douche Canoe in high school. So I want to read this. I really wish it said on the back like what year it was made. Let's see. 2011. That's the year I graduated high school. I graduated high school in 2011. So I'm going to go start this. I know I liked the series, so I want to see if I really like it, because if I do, then I want to continue. But let's get to reading. Good morning. So it's the last day of this little weekend vlog. Yesterday I was reading Dark House by Karina Hale. I don't know if it's Hale or Hallie. If I'm butchering it, I'm sorry. I can honestly say I don't remember a lot of this book. I literally remembered it is about ghosts, and the guy's name is Dex. That was what I remember. And I remember I ate these books up, and whenever, especially when I read this one, the first one, during high school. I am chapter 4, page 42, and Dex and Perry have met. And I mean, immediately, I'm like, yes, I need to read more of this. Perry is 23. She's living at home. She has a marketing degree. She works for a marketing company, but as a secretary, she's not happy with her job. She's like 5'2", so I'm like, my size. And she's like, oh, and I'm curvy. And I'm like, oh, me too. Okay, I get it. But she always like, kind of like a daredevil. Like, she was always trying to find her niche, and she hasn't found it yet. And it's bothering her that she hasn't found it yet, because she thinks that she should have found it by now. But I remember she has nightmares, and her family's like, oh, don't make us do this again and this again. And it's like, wait, what are you guys talking about? What are you talking about? This girl, they go to her uncle's. He lives in Oregon by a beach, and he has a lighthouse, which is what the story is about, on his property. And for some reason, she feels very drawn to the lighthouse, even though she's not allowed to go over there. It's boarded up. Like, nobody's allowed to go near it. And she really wants to go to the lighthouse, and she has a camera. And she decides to go, and she breaks inside, and she hears something, and she kind of is like thinking that there's rapists and all this. She freaks out. And all of a sudden, she literally runs into a man named Dex. He's like a producer. What exactly? He gave her a business card, and I'm like, okay. Man, what did it say on the card? Dex Foray. It says producer, cameraman, cinematographer, and shownet. So, and he has a camera, and he's walking in this lighthouse alone. And then they hear a noise, and she takes him with him to go see what the noise is. And that's where I left off. But that's a good, quick little synopsis. But I really want to finish this book today, because I really want to start Fourth Wing tomorrow. Because I want to start it on Monday. So that's tomorrow. So I'm hoping I can get this book done today, start Fourth Wing tomorrow, and just read all 3 and do just a dedicated vlog to Fourth Wing. But I have already read Fourth Wing, and I have already read Iron Flame. I just haven't read Onyx Storm. So, alright, Fourth Wing and Iron Flame will be my rereads, and I'll try to do non-spoiler, because I don't know how, but I have not been spoiled yet on anything in Onyx Storm. I think it helps that I'm not on social media a lot. I generally don't just doom scroll. I never do. I never really have been that person. I'm not a TikToker. I'm not big on TikTok. I like Instagram and Pinterest, but I've also purposely stayed off Instagram, really, other than posting a story here and there, because I don't want to be spoiled. But yeah, so we'll see what happens, but that's my plan, is to finish Dark House by Karina Hale. Good morning. So it's Monday. I did want to do a quick update to end this vlog. I did finish Dark House by Karina Hale. Hallie, whatever you say. Yesterday I started at page 42, and I finished to 290 yesterday. I really actually had a hard time putting this down, so I gave it 4 stars, and there is absolutely no smut. There's no romance in this book yet. I know this series down the line there is romance, but there is none in this one between Dex and Perry, and it's about this girl. I think I already gave a synopsis of it, but let's say they went to this lighthouse and they had their camera and a lot of shit freaking happened and it got pretty crazy. The ending kind of just felt like it was stretched out a little bit. That was really the only thing I didn't like at all. That was really it. But Perry is attracted to Dex, and Dex is attracted to her, but he has a girlfriend. So I don't know. I don't remember. All I literally remember is that there was a lighthouse on the cover of the first book, and the guy's name was Dex. I didn't even remember the girl's name. That was all I remembered about this series that I read, which I looked at when I borrowed it on my Kindle. I actually read it in 2012, so after I graduated high school. But I thought I read it during high school, but I guess I didn't. But it was a good book. I gave it 4 stars. Totally recommend. Once they're in the lighthouse, there are things that happen, and it's very entertaining. The only other drawback of this book is kind of like Dex himself. I don't know why she wrote him this way. So something happens, and like he's like flips. I don't even know how to say it. Like his personality very quickly. Like he'll be serious one second, then he's just bursting out laughing, and then he's like totally just staring at you like out of space. It's like, what is happening? Like he's kind of everywhere. But there's a point where something gets brought up and she's like, why wouldn't he tell me this? And I'm like, why would you technically make him that way? Like I think down the line it makes more sense, but like in this book it didn't really make much sense. But like there's things he does that it's like, why the fuck are you doing that? Like it makes no sense. I didn't like that. Like she's looking at him at one point and he just sticks his tongue out at her and is just staring at her like he's a damn loony. And then all of a sudden he becomes very serious again and the tongue's back in his mouth. It's like, why? Like, why would you do that? That was probably one of my biggest icks, is that I don't know why she made his personality so chaotic. I don't know. I don't know. But I did also forget that he's 10 years older than her. She's 22, which mind you, on the back and online, it always says 23. She's 22. She's referenced 22 multiple times in this book, and he's 32. Why they have it on the back that she's 23 and also online says she's 23, and I'm confused. I don't know why it's like that, but it is. But so that's the end of my weekly vlog. I did DNF multiple books. I don't remember the titles of them, so I'll try to put them here because I don't remember. There was like 3 of them, and I wanted to start The Outsiders, but I just haven't. I finished Dark House so late last night, and I was just like, yeah, no, I'm not going to start it now and then give it a disservice of not actually paying attention with the first chapter. So I might start that sometime this week, maybe while I'm doing my reread of Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. I'll at least like read a little bit, just like so I'm not so into that world and getting so engrossed in it, just to give me a little bit of something different. But yeah, so that's the end of this vlog. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you again in my next vlog, and I hope you're having a great day or night wherever you are. Bye.